your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, take a look at these wind speeds that are out there. Quite gusty across the area. We're talking 30-mile-per-hour winds that are gusting all across the state. Look at Indianapolis right now. They're 46 miles an hour. These winds just won't die down. They will, though, by tomorrow. We've also had a few rain showers still moving through the area as an area of low pressure slowly kicks through. Now we've got these very light, kind of pesky rain showers that are still around the area. Now, temperatures, big drop off here. Still into the mid-70s out towards Indianapolis. But then you get to Champaign, you're at 68, 64 in Springfield as the cooler air moves in. Things are setting up quite nicely over the next several days. We'll talk more about how long the cool weather sticks around when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Thousands have marched for racial justice on local streets. How one group is joining together to find a path forward.
I think there's a lot of confusion when people say defund the police.
Some activists are pushing for reform. But what happens if there is less money for law enforcement?
It's my job to protect the citizens of Piatt County.
That's why the state's attorney, FBI, and state police are all investigating the county board. And the chairman is now asking her to step down.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Trying to explain when you walk in a room and you see everyone turn around and what that feeling feels like. You can't understand what that does to you and how that makes you feel.
Local leaders say these conversations about race are difficult but necessary, and they aren't waiting for large gatherings in person to get started. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Roscoe. After thousands marched across central Illinois this weekend for racial justice, the Champaign County Coalition is meeting over Zoom to talk about finding a path forward. WCIA 3's Jen Lask is live in Champaign. So Jen, what did today's meeting cover?
Well, Jennifer, today's meeting covered a number of topics from police relations to racism in education. The NAACP Champaign County President Minnie Pearson spoke in the meeting about the national organization's recommendations, which include implementing citizen review boards, not advisory boards, with the power to subpoena. Multiple police chiefs and the sheriff spoke as well, and you're going to hear more of that later tonight, saying they want to continue to listen to the community and be a part of the solution. And the teen organizers of the Pain to Peace March from this weekend say they're not done organizing community events yet. In fact, they've got a rally in the works for June 20th.
We wanted to give a chance for people to all come together and gather in one location and kind of give a seminar or just a teaching points about some of the things that we're interested about and passionate about changing in our community. It's going to be kind of education based. We wanted to have some speakers come out, some teachers.
The teens want to talk about institutionalized racism in schools and the use of law enforcement there. And they are also working to set up a COVID-19 testing site at that rally and will have a social media week leading up to June 20th. So even though the county coalition can't meet at the library right now because of COVID-19, that conversation is not waiting for anything. Live in Champaign, Jen Lask, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Jen, thank you so much. Police reform activists across the country are calling to defund the police. But what does that mean? WCIA 3's Cole Henke explains from Springfield.
Defund the police is a message being shared all over the nation. But the president of the Springfield Black Lives Matter branch, Sunshine Clemens, says that phrase can give the wrong impression.
I think there's a lot of confusion when people say defund the police. They think it means cut all of their funding and completely disband the police force, and that's not necessarily the case. A lot of times it's a reallocation of that money.
The idea is to take part of a police department's budget and use it to pay for other social programs, including the more specialized parts of a police officer's job.
Can perform tasks that might need to be better suited to a social worker or a nurse, and I think taking some of the money that's used in certain ways and reallocating that to some of those social service programs that are continually cut and desperately need funding might be able to alleviate some of the things that are on police officers' plates.
Springfield Mayor Jim Langfelder agrees social service programs need more money.
Those areas have been gutted, and so they need to restore the funding for those areas because the social service agencies need that funding. But as far as what we put forward on the police department, those efforts, those are needed just from the operational standpoint.
But he doesn't think the money should come from the police force's budget. He says cutting funding won't help eliminate systemic racism.
And really defunding the police is not going to do that's not going to address that issue.
Reporting in Springfield, I'm Cole Hankey, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Now, activists in Springfield met with the mayor and police chief this week. The topic of funding reallocation did not come up, but more ideas will be talked about in the next meeting. A woman is dead after a house fire in Sangamon County. It happened this morning on Coneflower Drive in Athens. 69-year-old Carolyn Kaufman was found in the home. She was pronounced dead at the hospital. The state fire marshal is investigating the cause. Police are investigating an armed robbery at a Danville restaurant. It happened at the Burger King on West Newell Road last night. Employees say the man had a gun and demanded money. He got cash from the safe and ran. No one was hurt. This is a follow-up for you. The Piatt County Board Chairman, who's accused of several crimes, wants the state's attorney to quit. Ray Spencer was indicted on felony charges of forgery and official misconduct in January. He's also accused of violating the state's Open Meetings Act last month. Spencer complained at today's board meeting. The state's attorney's office has started numerous investigations into the county board. He says it's a conflict of interest. But Dana Rhodes says it's not just her office that's digging. The FBI, state police, and grand juries are all looking into state and federal grant mismanagement in Piatt County, stretching back 8 years.
This is not a rift between the county board chairman and the state's attorney's office. This is a very serious problem, and it is my job to protect the citizens of Piatt County and the taxpayers of Piatt County, and it would not be appropriate, and I would not be doing my job if I were to just look the other way. In fact, I would be part of the problem if I just looked the other way.
Rhodes says all of the investigations into the county are still open. In the meantime, she says no one in her office will be resigning. This is new information. A more than $20 million project for the village of Rantoul is going to take more money to finish. The village is planning to expand the storm sewer for the Rantoul Sports Complex. They're pushing it farther south to prepare for future developments in that area. It'll cost about $500,000. Rantoul is paying for the project by using public and private money. As Rantoul prepares for more growth, they want to make sure their community is more connected and safe. WCIA3's Jamie Mays has more on how they're getting ready for the future.
We're primed for development, and our infrastructure, it probably isn't there to support it.
So the village is working on a plan. They're getting help from the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission. Through a state grant from IDOT, the Regional Planning Commission did a transportation study.
And we're looking at the existing state of transportation in Rantoul, and then preparing a vision and goals and recommendations for improvements that can be made on a 25-year horizon.
They collected data on all of our sidewalks. They took inventory on all of our existing ramps, the sidewalks, and then they completed sidewalk surveys.
Whether you're driving, biking, or walking, their goal is to make it easier for people to make it around the city.
There are places that sidewalks are missing in Rantoul, streets that don't have sidewalks. That includes a lot of streets in the north and east part of Rantoul.
They also found places to improve safety for drivers, and they noticed some streets with sidewalks, but they're so old they're not compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. The village says it's important to prepare now.
We need a plan to be able to know exactly where we need to do the work so that we're ready for future growth.
Reporting in Rantoul, Jamie Mays, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Improvements to sidewalks could start as soon as this fall. It was one of the biggest gets for the Champaign County Fair in years. So will the Beach Boys ever play in Urbana? Also tonight.
I know what it's been. I know what it can be.
She's leading a group to make sure our town Pana bounces back better than ever. What the volunteers are doing to be angels among us.
And the clouds are still with us, the wind as well, and even a few rain showers out there. That's our Roofing Dog at Bratcher weather camera looking over Champaign tonight, looking rather overcast. 80 the high today. The humidity has been slowly going down throughout the course of the day. The winds will soon calm down, and it's going to turn much cooler. We're going to talk about things staying really nice as well in the forecast coming up.